Hello, STEM friends. You probably already knew this, but today is a special day. Today, we celebrate Earth Day. Happy Earth Day! We'll talk about some different things we can do at home to think about our Earth and to celebrate Earth Day. The very first Earth Day celebration took place on April 22nd, 1970. That means today is the 50th time we've had an Earth Day. Earth Day is 50 years old this year. That means it's older than me. That's pretty old. So, we're going to think about some of the different ways we can celebrate Earth Day. One of the things you can do to celebrate Earth Day is think of things you can do to take care of Earth. So let's think about that for a minute. What is something you could do that would take care of Earth? Some of the things we've talked about this year during STEM. Remember back when you were in my classroom, some of the things we talked about that can help us do a better job of taking care of Earth? Yes, recycling. Do you remember when we talked about recycling? We can keep things that we might be able to use again, or we can take things to recycling centers when they open back up and we can recycle things instead of throwing so many things away in the trash. There was something else we learned about that will help us take care of Earth. Let's see if anybody remembers that. You might remember that I had a container and I put some stuff inside the container, and then we kept making the stuff in the container get a little worse and a little worse. That's right, it was water. Do you remember when I put the water in the container and then we caused all the pollution to go into the water and it got really yucky? That was pretty gross. I remember that too. So we learned about keeping our earth clean, especially the water, and how everything on the ground, the trash and everything else ends up going in our water. So those are some of the things we can do to take care of earth. And those also go along with learning about ways to help the environment. And you can get on the computer with your mom or dad or the grown-ups at your house, and you can look up videos for ways to help the environment, other things that we can do. A few things that you can do at your house, and we've talked about some of these things at school too, is going around the house during the day and turning off lights that nobody needs. Like if you leave the light on after you're finished in the bathroom, that light doesn't really need to stay on and you can turn that off. Or if you leave the light on in your bedroom and you're not in there, or if it's daytime outside and the room is light anyways, sometimes you don't need to turn lights on. And not using as much electricity is something that helps the environment because it takes a lot of stuff to make electricity work. And some of those things are kind of hard on Earth. Makes the Earth have to work a little bit harder when we use so much electricity. Another thing we talked about earlier in the year is using less water, conserving water, and trying not to let the water run when we're brushing our teeth, getting our toothbrush wet, and then turning the water off. Also, even when we're washing our hands, we don't have to leave the water running the whole time we're washing our hands. We just need it at the beginning when we need to get our hands wet, and then at the end when we're ready to rinse off the soap. Remember, when we leave that water on while we're washing our hands with the soap, then the soap gets washed off too quickly. So that's another way that we can help the environment is using less water, using less electricity. We also want to tell others how they can be kind to our planet. So, all these things that we've been learning about recycling and about the water and about using less, there might be people that you know that don't know all those things, and you could help them to learn more about how they can take care of Earth and how they can help the environment. You can be their teacher. Can you believe that? So, one of the things that we can do is always look for ways to keep Earth clean. Now, this is something that you always want to make sure you have a grown up helping you to do these things. Grown ups know how to keep you safe. So, anytime you're outside and you notice that there's a lot of trash outside, you might see if a grown up who lives with you can help you to clean up some of the trash. But that's not something you want to do by yourself because sometimes there's trash outside that might be dangerous. So you always want to make sure that you have a grown up help you anytime you're trying to do a cleanup around your house or around your neighborhood or in your yard. Always make sure you have a grown up helping you with that so that they can keep you safe from some of the trash that might be around that might be a little icky. Try to look for ways to use less. Look for ways to use less or reuse things that can be used again, like we talked about using less electricity and using less water. But I'm going to have a special guest in just a little bit who's going to show you a way you can reuse something you might have at your house to make something really cool. Recycling, again, that's something we learned about this year. It's kind of hard to recycle right now because a lot of the recycling places aren't open. But if you can find a way to keep those things in your garage or in some bins out in your yard, hopefully sometime really soon we'll be able to start recycling again because that's something that's so important. Plant something. You know, we talk about how important trees are to Earth, but really all plants help Earth to stay healthy. So you can plant something in your garden, something that maybe your family could eat. You can plant flowers that make the Earth prettier. There are so many different things that you can plant. If you don't have any seeds at your house, you could even go out and find one of those puffball dandelions and get a couple of those seeds and plant them, and you can grow your own dandelion that you can watch grow. So if you don't have any seeds, that would be a way that you could plant something that you can see grow, is just use a dandelion from out in your yard. Again, we want to spread the word, teach someone else how to be a better friend to Earth, and never stop learning about new ways to help our planet. When you have a grown up, you can get on YouTube and do a search for Earth Day for kids, and you can watch some videos to learn a little bit more about Earth Day or to learn about other things that you can do to help the Earth. So, like I said, we have a special guest today in STEM, and it's somebody that you probably remember from school. Some of you might even be in her classroom. Some of you might know her child, or you might be in her child's classroom. And here they are.
Hey, Bartown Primary School, it's Miss Candace here, and I'm with my daughter, Pearl Ann. And we are here because today is a very special day. What day is it?
Earth Day.
Earth Day.
Woo!
Earth Day. We love Earth Day, if you can't tell. All right, so we want to share with you something that we've been doing here. And we've been reusing cardboard to have some art sessions, all right? So the first thing is when your parents are in the kitchen and they are done with something, for example, this was oatmeal. Once we ate all the oatmeal, I then will break the box down. So you have to open the box up and lie it flat, okay? And then you're gonna cut it open. So you're gonna start cutting on one of the creases. Can you show them how to do that?
To use big scissors. You won't want to use these big scissors. This is really all we could find though. But number one, little scissors for you guys.
Yeah, unless your parents say you can use big scissors, then that's okay. but little scissors would work on this also. So you start cutting, you cut on one of the creases.
Ooh, this one's difficult.
All right, and then once you cut it and you open it up, you'll see that you need to cut down every crease. Okay, so it'll give you lots of different surfaces to work with.
Here you go, Mom. There's one.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, so here's the first one. Bam, we have it ready. All right.
This one is also done too.
You could keep cutting and then you would have more, yes. All right. Now with this one, because it is the brown cardboard, you would need to paint it so that you could use different colors on it to show up. For example,
Now I'm going to go ahead and paint mine to show you guys how to do it.
go for it. Pearl already did one, and this is dry. She painted red and she painted some purple over it, okay? Now what we've been doing, once we get us color on there and we have a base coat, then we let it dry, and then we've been cutting out little cards that would fit in an envelope, painting little pictures on those and mailing them out to our friends, okay? So that's been a lot of fun. Now if you don't have paint at home, that's okay. What you need to do is you need to find a box that's gonna have white on the inside. So we had some tacos last week. They're super tasty. So you cut down the crease, open it up, and this is white, okay? So then you don't have to have paint. You can use markers or crayons to make a picture. All right, let me cut this and make a picture with markers.
Now let me give you guys a fact. You might want to use a big brush if you want to paint the whole background purple, but this is all we could find, so I have to use a little brush.
That's okay. Yeah, she's saying when you get your base coat on, if you use a really big paintbrush, you can get it on there a lot quicker, but it's okay.
That's what we've been doing to get the backgrounds, like when we send the classmates letters, we want to try to use their favorite colors to make it special.
All right, so I just drew a quick picture on this. BPS rocks, all right? So whenever we send the letters with pieces of artwork, we normally will paint, we'll cut a piece this little. We'll paint a little picture on it and write a letter and then send it to our friends, okay? So that's the idea that we wanted to share with you. I hope that you can have some fun with it. We've been having lots of fun with it. And now we're going to sing a little song for our great friend, Mother Earth. You ready? Happy Earth Day to you. Happy Earth Day to you. Happy Earth Day, dear BPS family, we love you. Happy Earth Day to you. Woo! All right, we're out of here.
We're out of here. Out, dogs.
Peace.
Thanks for coming to STEM class today, and I hope you have a great Earth Day. And wasn't it awesome to get to see Miss Candace and her daughter Pearl Ann sharing a special Earth Day craft with us? If you do anything special for Earth Day, make sure you post it in the comments on Facebook so we can see all of the cool things you get to do for Earth Day. Happy Earth Day! See you next week.